The post that the Shade Room made, it said that studies say men are at their loneliest as healthier relationship standards arise. And I went and I reviewed the article and the research that they used in the article, that they referenced in the article. So we're gonna walk through. We're not gonna take a lot of time, but we're gonna walk through this article and really pull up some of the research that they reference in here. And the first one they referenced was the Psychology Today. First of all, let's get into the lonely thing, because that's the first thing in this article. And the study's shown that most men are lonelier than women, but what people don't realize is they were talking that those findings were highlighting individualistic cultures, meaning countries that are all about self-actualization and not the collective growth of everybody, which is mainly based in countries like the UK. So the next thing that they talked about in the article is, it says the reason why men are lonely is because of relationship standards. It says, with so many options, it's not surprising that women are increasingly selective. I do a TikTok show and speak with hundreds of audience members every week. I hear reoccurring dating themes from women between the ages of 25 and 45. They prefer men who are emotionally available, good communicators, and share similar values. So a lot of women were also saying to me in the comments that you didn't read it. As you can see in the research or the article, it said that women want people who are emotionally available, good communicators, and share similar values, which I think is extremely important, that women do want that. However, he is basing that off of anecdotal research. He's basing that off of his show, what he hears people say. And then I went to the Pew Research. So in that article, it clearly states, it's talking about finances. It says that roughly 7 in 10 adults say it is very important for a man to be able to support a family financially to be a good husband or partner. And what they also pointed out in the same Pew study, Blacks and Hispanics are more likely than whites to place a high level of importance on being able to financially support a family when it comes to being a good spouse or partner. The same article that they reference, it says, because a lot of Black women were coming at me too about this, that, oh, don't be mad at us because we're leaving men behind because y'all don't want to get y'all stuff together. It's important for y'all to really read these articles to find out the real details of the articles, because although loneliness for men is increasing, the same article that y'all told me I didn't read, it says for most racial and ethnic groups, men are more likely than women to be unpartnered, to be single. The exception is among Black adults, where women are 62% more likely to be unpartnered than men, which are at 55%. So it wasn't even talking about the Black community. The comment that I made in the Shade Room, like I said, I wasn't really satisfied with the research that was presented in the article. So I wanted to really dig more into it. So what we decided to do was to go to the Journal of Marriage and Family. And for those of you who don't know what the Journal of Marriage and Family is, I'm gonna read it for you so you can understand that there's a difference in research. Like, all research is not the same. So the Journal of Marriage and Family is published by the National Council on Family Relations, and it's been the leading research journal in the family field for more than 75 years. And it's consistently the most highly cited journal in family science. Why that's important is this. In order to get published in the top family journal, it means your research has to be peer reviewed, which basically means that you do research, you write about it in an article. Before it's published in this journal, they push it out to other psychologists, other sociologists, and they have to try to pick apart your article. They have to try to prove it wrong. And if they can't prove it wrong, if enough psychologists and sociologists approve it, then it gets published in the journal. That it's not the same case with the article that the person read. Like I said, it's anecdotal. And if you look at this article in the Journal of Marriage and Family, it's called Mismatches in the Marriage Market. This study was done in 2019. The research that the article was based off was in 2017, which means this is more up to date. And its major findings was the fact that women's educational levels now exceed men's implies that young women by necessity are less financially dependent on husbands than in the past, that educational has become more commonplace. Young women seemingly face shortages of demographically similar men to marry. They're not meeting the standards educationally. They're not meeting the standards financially. And this is from the #1 research journal in marriage and family.